Black magic.
You got to know, got to show, it's time to roll. So just tell me what you want to hear. Tell me what you want, so just tell me what you want to hear.
Welcome back, kiddies, to another episode of RatG TV with your hosts, Zeus and the Wellandwingnut. And they thought I was the crazy one.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of RatG TV. It's your boy Zeus. With me, as always, the Wellandwingnut, Steve Lambert. How's it going, buddy?
It's all right.
Yeah,
broke my damn phone yesterday.
Damn, brother. Damn, that's pretty rough. How are you making out in the world without a phone?
The first thing I thought about and really panicked about was I was in the middle of a trade in my fantasy league, and I was like, "Damn, if that trade goes through, I'm not gonna be able to set my fucking lineup."
Yeah, because you don't even have a computer or a laptop or anything.
The kids have a laptop, but we don't use it. I have the tablet, which is pretty dated, which we tried connecting with earlier, and
yeah, that was not happening.
So we're using Amber's phone today, so there will be no comments from Facebook user.
Facebook user, we will miss you. Well, I'm sure we'll still get comments from Facebook user.
Right.
They just won't be in the comment section. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope you're having a great weekend. A better weekend than Steve is, that's for sure. Now, Steve and I both watched the same movie this weekend. We both watched Red Notice, and because of that, we came up with the idea to do best acting duos from TV to movies. Fuck, it could have even been radio. It could have went Wayne and Schuster if you wanted to, if you knew who that was.
Even though that movie's kind of a trio.
It is really a trio movie for sure. Oh, and in early is Ronnie Corbo. How's it going, buddy? I thought you were in Facebook jail. I could be wrong. I know nothing, though. Who knows? Anyways.
We're glad to hear.
But we thought about that, and that's why we're doing our idea for best duos in acting. You let us know, same as always, let us know throughout the show. Who are some of your favorites? We'll put them up there in the comments, and we'll give you ours as we go along. And morning, Daniel Van Descent. How the fuck are you doing, brother? Good day, mate. Been a long time since I got to practice my Aussie. Think it's sounding pretty good, don't you? All right. What I got to do, they don't pronounce R's. So he doesn't live in Canberra. He lives in Canberra. Canberra? I can't do it. Daniel even sent me a video how to pronounce all these different words and shit there. And yeah, I suck. Metapause is the new Facebook jails.
I like it. Metapause.
Have you heard that before or no?
No.
No, you haven't? Oh, that's
I haven't heard that one yet.
Yeah. Good one. All right. Well, thank you for joining the show, Daniel. Thank you for joining the show, Ronnie, and everybody else who is watching. If you're tuning in new from TikTok, welcome. If you're tuning in new just because you happen to be scrolling and you saw these dashing youngish men over here, that's why. Thank you for joining. But yeah, why don't we get right into it, buddy? Like this was like most our lists, I find it very fluid. Like they could change week to week. If you ask us this, our list would probably change. But this one with the duos, I find that there was less to work with. So, we wouldn't get as much repeat. So with that,
and there was definitely one I avoided because I know you were going to have it on your list, probably even at one. So I avoided that one.
I forget what it was, and I might not have used it.
Possibly another. So we'll see. We'll see as the list goes.
All right. Well, why don't you start us off, my friend? I'll let you start with your number one pick.
So these guys only appeared in 3 movies together, but they were that memorable, and I loved them that much that they made my number 5. And as I said, 3 movies, raking in a total of $244 million for buddy comedy. Not bad. Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker from Rush Hour.
Now, wasn't there a Rush Hour 4?
Was there a Rush Hour 4?
I think there's 4 films, man. Or no. No, it hasn't come out yet.
Okay.
They talk about it and tease it every year.
Right.
And then what had happened is they came out with they ended up coming out with the Rush Hour television series instead, which was...
I thought you were going to say nobody could find Chris Tucker.
Right. No, they...
We love you, Chris. Come on the show.
Please come on.
Coming in at number 4, I didn't want these to all be comedies because I made this list once already, and then it was all comedic talent there. So I wanted to throw somebody else in there. And what better pair than this pair have done 6 movies together, totaling $370 million at the box office, and that's Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci.
Couple of good fellas right there, buddy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch The Irishman, but these guys have
that one was a little slow for me.
But I get it though. People love it, and I like this one too. Best duos: Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor. Great duo right there. I'm done with De Niro and Pesci. I think that's a good
those
one.
Aussies. They're always looking into the future, eh?
Right.
Because once we get past our number 3 duo, who made 7 movies together, totaling $479 million, the original stoner duo, besides, us, we're the original Canadian stoner duo because Bob and Doug were more drinkers than weed smokers.
Right.
So. Cheech and Chong. And like I said,
I love that pick. I got to tell you, man.
That is a great
nice pick. Yeah.
It's a great pick. I like
Good pick. Good pick. Cheech and Chong, legendary. I've watched, I think, every single one of their movies. Not every one of them's good. A lot of them are good, to be fair.
A couple of them are pretty dated as well.
Yeah, exactly.
But we love them just the same. And as I said, jumping into the future here, Daniel Van Zandt, my number 2, Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor, 4 movies together, $613 million.
Wow. I should have had you check all mine for me. Yeah,
the box office totals.
Yeah, because I don't know mine. But I'll be interested to know if you know the box office totals of these guys, your number 1 pick here.
So, yeah, my number 1, we were the kids that grew up on the Saturday, Sunday morning stuff. So we watched ourselves some Laurel and Hardy, some Little Rascals, and who could forget Abbott and Costello? I mean, they crossed so many genres with the horror, going into the horror stuff.
And how many people have parodied Who's on First?
Right. You could argue Laurel and Hardy, but I mean, no one more memorable than Abbott and Costello as far as longevity and, like I say, crossing genres and the guest appearances in their movies. I mean, really the original duo that, made duos popular. And adjusted to today's dollars, their box office totals would be $2.5 billion.
Damn. That's pretty good. That's pretty impressive indeed. And legends as well. You know what? They would have been on my list if they weren't on yours. That's for sure. And it's funny because Laurel and Hardy would never have been. They weren't even a consideration.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. Like, I shouldn't say they weren't a consideration. I did consider them, but I was like, no.
If there was a top 10, they probably would have made mine.
For sure. Which... me saying that makes things really weird for how I'm going to start off with my list. If I'm not going to include Laurel and Hardy, who most people are going to, oh my God, I just thought of 2 as well. I'm going to take this duo off and replace them. But this was my original number 5 pick. Just because they made a lot of great movies together and they're a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But I'm replacing them with Arsenio Hall and Eddie Murphy. Harlem Nights and Coming to America. I'm sorry. I forgot you guys. I'm sorry I forgot you guys. That was on me.
I mean, just the multiple roles that they both played in Coming to America right there.
In Coming to America? Oh, for sure. And even in Harlem Nights, I think, did they play multiple roles in Harlem Nights?
I don't believe so.
Oh, Arsenio played his rival. He kept trying to shoot him and could never hit him. I hate you, Quick. I hate you. I hate you. Now this next duo, as much as I don't love all their movies, I do love these two together, and I just have a lot of fun watching them just rib each other all the time. I just like them to watch them pick on each other, really. And that's Dwayne The Rock Johnson and Kevin Hart. I said it before, if I was to recast Willow and I was to recast the Brownies, like the little pixies, this is who I would use as those two annoying little pixies. It would be The Rock and Kevin Hart. And you wouldn't even have to change Kevin Hart's size for it. That was a low-hanging fruit.
You're getting a pretty big laugh there from Facebook user.
The Facebook user loves it. And listen, I don't want to hear anything about race either with them being called the Brownies and they happen to be black guys. That's just a happy coincidence. My next on my list. Okay, so number 3. You know me, I'm sappy. I'm kind of a sap. So I had to have this couple in there because to me, they're at the top of the mountain for greatest rom-com duos of all time. There's Billy Crystal and Meg Ryan, and then there's Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore. And to me, these two, I will watch whatever they put out together.
I had them on my original top 5.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Wow, man. Well, cool.
50 First Dates is mine and Amber's go-to. That's our movie.
That's your date movie.
Yeah.
Which is, it's a great movie. I think that's maybe my favorite rom-com, honestly.
I love Blended as well, so.
Yeah. Well, which is this one here. Yeah, man. So that was my number 3 pick. My number 2 pick. I don't know if you can still see me there or not, but my number 2 pick. Now, these guys only worked together, I think, on just this franchise, and it was only 2 movies for them. But the first name that popped in my head were these two, and I just couldn't keep them off the list. And mostly because how iconic this movie was for bringing in so many big celebrities and having like an all-star cast. And then this was the first movie I remember having outtakes. Not outtakes, but after the blooper reel at the very end. And for me, it's got to be Burt Reynolds, Dom DeLuise, Cannonball Run. Just too great. I love these two so much. And the 2 movies were great. I don't know if they did much more after that, though.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But the Cannonball movies were just so fucking good. They were so fun. I don't know how well they hold up to today's standards. They might be a little offensive now, like anything from the 80s and 70s. But yeah, it was a great movie, and they were great duos, and I had a lot of fun with that movie. Now, for my number 1, when I kind of had a tie for number 1, so this is a bit of a cheat. I'm sorry. So, but the first part of my number 1 here is, the Hoffing Kit. Thank you. Stole it from me. Way to go. Another good one was Danny Glover and Mel Gibson from Daniel. But no, for me, my number 1, tied for number 1, is Wesley and Woody.
Yeah.
I mean, from Wildcats to White Man Can't Jump to Money Train, these guys, like, I need one more movie from them. Never mind one more movie. I need one more trilogy from these guys. I need it to be, but do it like before, where they're not in the same universe, where they're like, give me 3 different movies where they're 3 different characters each time around.
This was the pick that when I thought of this list was first guys that came to my mind. I thought, I know Ryan shares that love of the Woody and Wesley duo. So every week I make my list first usually, and then you change yours. So this is what I'm with.
Thanks, buddy. That was nice of you. Well, but you know what though? My number one is actually the original Wesley and Woody. And I don't care what anybody says about this, the greatest duo of all time. Zeus and the Wellandwingnut. What? Tell me I'm wrong.
No.
They stole our gimmick. They stole our gimmick.
They did. They really did.
They stole it.
Because we were doing it way longer, way before they were.
Right.
So some people are just, in the right place at the right time. And Crystal Beach wasn't it.
It definitely wasn't it because we tried. It's just there wasn't a good enough basketball court in Crystal Beach. I don't know, but that's my list. I hope you guys liked it. Ron says the best. Yes, the best duo indeed. Thank you, sir. Thank you indeed. Now, before we do go on any further, I do want to send a quick shout out to the people that pay our bills here, and that is the fine folks over at docnet. You see them right over Steve's shoulder there. Listen, if you live anywhere in Canada and you're trying to save some money on your internet bill, or you need a home phone, and you want to switch over and get a good package, or just looking for one or the other, but you want to save money without having to sacrifice your signal, give docnet a call. docnet.ca. Let them know that RatG TV sent you. They got a whole bunch of new promos and shit going on there right now. And yes, they even wrote it out as shit in the copy. No, I'm kidding. It's awesome stuff there. But go to docnet.ca. Get yourself cheaper internet without sacrificing your internet strength and quality. That's it. All right. So, woohoo! That was fun list, man.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I feel like I need to do like a Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder movie marathon.
Yeah, I definitely don't go long between viewings of Hear No Evil, See No Evil. It's one I watch at least once a year, if not twice.
Could Wesley and Woody remake the Gene and Richard movies? Could Wesley be that funny?
I don't know.
But it was almost like Pryor played every single one of those as the straight man, though. And Wesley played the straight man in every one of those movies. And every movie they're in is a comedy.
Yeah.
I like it. Hollywood, make it happen. Make it happen. All right.
You get us to be the stand-ins.
Yes, of course. And if not, it could be Troy and Abed behind me. My other choice for comedic duo. Even though this was all they ever did was this show, these two were great. Now, the reason what brought us into the duos was, the new movie Red Notice, which we both watched. That's your 5-second movie review this week. Which, we know there's really 3 of them. But we will get.
But it was a lot more The Rock and Ryan Reynolds together.
Yeah, they base this basically as a Rock versus Ryan Reynolds movie, where we knew they'd end up working together. Now, this is a Netflix movie that got a huge push from Netflix. Netflix put a lot of money into advertising this one. So, yeah, I'm excited to see what you say. Now, if anyone hasn't seen this before, what we do with Steve's 5-second movie review is I put 5 seconds up on the board. Steve takes those 5 seconds and gives you his best review of said movie. Now, with that in mind, folks, if you are ready, it's time for Steve's 5-second movie review by Steve. All right. All right, buddy. So if you're ready, you are reviewing the movie Red Notice from Netflix. I'm going to put 5 seconds on the board. You may begin when you're ready.
I noticed no one read the script.
You got that too. So what did you think of the movie?
As you and I spoke last night, there was definitely some funny Ryan Reynolds moments, as there always is in any movie. I mean, even Green Lantern, right? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
he's gonna get his laughs, right? So, but yeah, it just wasn't good. I just kept thinking Jungle Cruise the whole time.
So, what would you give this out of 5?
Just because Ryan Reynolds is so dreamy and he made me laugh a couple times. And I do love The Rock. I am a big fan. I gave it a 2.
A 2.
A 2. Yeah. It was a 1.5, and then I thought, man, I really like these guys. You know, I don't want to do it like that. So I bumped it up to a 2, 1 for each of them.
I love.
I'm sorry, Gil. I love you. I know you were in this movie too, but
I love that you're just like, oh man, I had it lower, but I didn't want to hurt their feelings when they see this.
Right. You know how Hollywood is. You know how it is. People are going to make it like there's this big rift between us when there really isn't.
Right. No, I get it. You know, social media always takes shit out of context. It's I totally understand it. Wow, that low. Well, you think that's low, Kurt? I did my review on the movie as well, put it up on TikTok, and I ranked mine out of 10, and I gave it a 2.5. Dude, I mean, from the onset of this movie, I knew almost every single thing that was going to happen. And the acting was, like you said, it was... Ryan Reynolds was good. But I honestly think they were just like, here, Ryan, this is basically what we need to have happen in this scene. Just improv, please.
Yeah.
Go. Yes, go. Be you. And I don't think Dwayne Johnson could keep up. I think Dwayne Johnson needed a script, and I don't think like you said, I really don't think there was much of a script at all. I think it was a bare bones script, and they were just like, yo, we got Ryan Reynolds, and he could ad-lib anything, and The Rock's pretty good at it, but he's not on Ryan Reynolds' level, you know? And so, yeah, it was bad. It was bad.
If you need something...
I saw the entire time coming. I knew the Bishop twist.
If you like the shoot 'em up, heisty, you know, gimmicky kind of movies, and you need to kill an hour and a half, hour 45 minutes, then yeah. But
even if so, like, I mean, this doesn't even compare to fucking The Italian Job or.
Oh no.
I would go so far as to say Ocean's 8 was twice the movie that Red Notice was. And I'm talking about the Sandra Bullock Ocean's movie, which I didn't hate. I think I gave that like a 6. So, but yeah, this was bad.
They can't all be winners.
No, they can't. And I like you. I like The Rock a lot. I think a lot of times The Rock focuses on playing that same character, but he plays it well.
Yeah,
and he knows when to put it in a script properly. But sometimes it doesn't work, like Jungle Cruise or this. Yeah. And Ryan Reynolds, hey, man, I don't know. I think Ryan Reynolds needs to step away from comedy a bit and hit up some serious dramas and maybe go back to horror genre for a bit, because his Amityville Horror was really good. And that movie Buried, oh my God, his acting in that was spot on. So, and Gal's good. And I'm sure she'll be back in the next Fast and the Furious movie somehow.
I'm sure she won't be hurt for work because of my review.
Yeah. Wow. I don't know. You've got the power in Hollywood. You've got that power to kill careers, as they say. All right. Well, hey, you know what? Why don't we do some news? Want to do some news? I want to do some news.
Let's do some news.
Hey, hidey ho, neighbor. All right, so starting with the news, News usually doesn't start off with good news with us each week, and we leave that to you with all the bad news.
Rarely do we get a week off. This week being no different. So we're gonna start with a guy who's been around Hollywood a long time. He played the oldest, their oldest Cunningham, Richie Cunningham, in the first season of Happy Days. Was recast because he wasn't happy with the role, so they recast it to somebody else in season 2. And then eventually went upstairs, and we just never saw him again. He was supposed to be the big brother character, but they realized very quickly that Fonz was the big brother character. Yeah. So yeah,
and I don't remember. I don't remember Richie having a brother ever.
Right. Yeah. But other than that, Death Wish, Willow, like I said,
he was Brad.
70 years old. Yeah, Gavin O'Hurley. So
he was Brad on Superman. Richard Donner's Superman. He was the bully, Clark Kent's bully.
He come from a long line of showbiz family, as did our next one. Was actually put into the business very young, to the point of he described it as child labor. He was actually his family's breadwinner at 6 years old.
Wow.
8 decades in Hollywood, over 70 years. Died at the age of 85. Dean Stockwell. We remember from Quantum Leap, of course, Beverly Hills Cop, the original Doom, which I never actually saw, Battlestar Galactica. I mean, like I said, he spent a lot of time in the business.
Yeah, he's a sci-fi nerd. Fucking, he's up there on our. In our Hall of Fame, for sure.
Scott Bakula obviously took time to remember his friend. Said that he never met a more passionate man. He was someone that was very protective of youngsters in Hollywood because of his upbringing, the way he was brought into the business.
Was he a Disney actor?
I don't know that he was a Disney actor.
No. Okay.
But yeah.
Wow. Well, that was a tough one to lose because. Like you, I mostly remember him from Quantum Leap. Like Quantum Leap was
and Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah, but even in Beverly Hills Cop, I don't remember who he was in Beverly Hills Cop at all.
Oh no, I guess maybe because I'm watching it recently.
Who did he play in Beverly Hills Cop?
He was one of the bad guys.
Yeah, but he was not the main bad guy.
No, he wasn't the main bad guy. He was the guy that was making the ammo, I believe. Remember the Cop Killers?
Oh,
with Bridget Nielsen.
Yeah. I don't remember. Yeah, I remember that, but I didn't remember him in that at all. But yeah, great actor. He'll be missed. And someone else we're missing. It's been 3 years yesterday since we've lost the great Stan Lee. And then we had Disney Plus Day. I wonder if that had anything to do with it. But yeah, man, it's. When I mentioned the story, you said it. You're like, "Oh man, 3 years already," and it feels like it just happened. Honestly, more Battlestar Galactica for me. Yeah, man, I am a BSG guy as well. Although I like the new Battlestar Galactica. I didn't like the older stuff with what was his name, Lorne Michaels? No, Lorne, the guy from. Ponderosa or whatever old country show that was that our parents used to watch with Michael Landing on it before Little House. Anyways, you know what I'm talking about. So I think it's Ponderosa. Actually, I don't think it's that, but it's something like that. Anyways, we miss you, Stan. What do you got next, buddy?
It's more bad news from the set of Rust. As a crew was dismantling the movie site, one crew member was bitten by a spider, and they're actually very in danger right now of actually having their arm amputated.
Oh wow! Seriously?
Yeah.
What kind of spider was it?
I didn't read the full story to get the kind of spider it was, but yeah.
I'm just gonna put it out there. Stop making this movie. Steve and I, neither one of us are really believe in ghosts or ghouls or demons or curses and shit. But that movie's cursed. I mean, just stop. Just make a new movie or make it somewhere else. Don't make it at that location. I don't know. I don't know. I don't believe in that stuff, but that's some bad juju. Some bad juju going on there for real. Talking about some juju and some magic, Dave Bautista 3 months ago made a tweet because Dave Bautista is in season 2 of C, made by one of my favorite showrunners out there, Jonathan Tropper, who makes Banshee and Warrior, makes C with Jason Momoa. That's where it's the apocalyptic future and everyone's lost their sight, but now there's some people starting to regain their sight. They worked together on that. Then they just worked on Dune. So Batista put out a tweet saying that, hey, MGM, I want a buddy cop movie made with me and Jason Momoa. And I guess when you become Dave Bautista, what you ask for, you get, because MGM jumped all over that and they've greenlit it. And we will be getting a buddy cop movie with Momoa and Batista. I mean, Dave.
I'll watch it.
I'll watch it, but
Yep.
Don't talk in it, Dave. Remember your last buddy cop movie, Stuber? Yeah, exactly. You don't remember that one where he's wearing the glasses and it was Kunal, the guy from the Eternals?
Oh, yeah.
So bad. So bad. Was it Brown Recluse? Their bikes getting destroyed tissue. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. And are they filming in Australia? I thought they were filming in the States somewhere.
Well, this was down in New Mexico, I believe. So.
Oh shit! Could have been Scorpion. Yeah. Hey guys, I love that you're on Twitch now. Thank you very much. We've been on Twitch for a little bit, but we just don't get enough content out there. I'm still trying to learn how to stream my video game playing on there, honestly, so that you could see me at the same time as I'm on there. I know I do all this. I should be able to figure that out, but I can't.
Hi, techie.
It's kind of low techie, but I'm lower techie. But thank you. Thanks for the love. Much appreciated. And let us know who are your favorite acting duos. Was it these two? Is it these two? I mean, well, really though, they get C, they've got Dune, and now they're going to have this buddy cop movie. After that comes out, there may be an argument to be made for them.
We're getting a comment from Facebook user, and they're saying Paul and Jamie from Mad About You.
Oh, I love that show so much. She didn't like that show?
What's that?
She didn't like Mad About You?
No, she loves it.
Me too. I love that show. Well, you know,
I like Helen Hunt. I was never a big Paul Reiser fan.
I'm not a fan of Paul Reiser. Well, no, that's not true because
I remember him doing stand up before Mad About You, and I wasn't a fan of his stand up.
I liked his stand up though because he was very dry. He was almost like British humor, but American.
Right.
But it was very heavy Jewish jokes, like based on him being Jewish. And I didn't get half of them. That's all I remember. And I just remember how much my grandfather would laugh at it. And so that would make me laugh, right? So
we had access to so many young comedians and we didn't even know it. Like as kids growing up watching A&E's and Evening at the Improv. And
Caroline's Comedy Hour. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. So.
Or even my grandfather had all the old Dean Martin roast tapes. So that's how I knew a lot of the old school like comedians. Because those, oh my God, they were ruthless. Anyways, I don't know. Feeling a little young at heart, like Paul Rudd.
Yeah, the man that never ages. Another one for his mantle, I guess. He's won People's Sexiest Man of the Year award. No one was more surprised than Paul. And when he went to tell his wife the good news that he had won People's Sexiest Man, she laughed at him. And he did not just like regular laugh, like belly laughed.
Well, I mean, I could definitely I see that because I mean I was happy that he got it, but I'm like, really? Like sexiest man? I'm not saying he's ugly. I'm not saying he's even close to even ugly or even average. He's a
He's your
very
everyman.
dude. But
He's your everyman.
sexiest? I mean, all right. Okay.
I mean, he's funny. He likes Rush. So, I mean.
And funny is sexy, I've been told. Thank fucking God.
Travis Bickle, no hands down.
Lethal Weapon, Gibson and Glover. Gibson and Glover or Wayans and Clayton Crawford. Crawford, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
What about the Rush Yard? They're good.
Yeah, I have them.
Oh.
I like the new ones. I really do want one more Lethal Weapon movie. Like, I'm sorry. Give me Lethal Weapon 6. Like, I know. People are like, we don't need it, but Danny Glover needs it. And
we get plenty of stuff we don't need, so.
Exactly. You don't have to watch it if you don't want to see it. Steve and I will watch the shit out of it. The shit out of it. And Chris Rock will be in it too, so gotta be like that.
We'll watch it enough times, and if you count those views as individual, it'll be a box office hit.
Oh my God. Now, I don't even know how to segue into this story next. There's a band called Brass Against, and they were just playing a big concert. Huge concert, and they've got a big following. Lead singer Sofia Urista called a fan up on stage and told him he was going to get a shot.
On, right?
No. She called the fan on stage. That's the fan right below her. You can barely make it out. She's in the process of taking her pants off, and she's gonna pee on him, and she does. And
she's the second coming of Jim Morrison?
I don't know. I was thinking more like an R. Kelly thing, but yeah.
The peeing on, yeah.
Or what was his name?
Jim Morrison, yeah, people too.
I gotta pee. Ron coming with the funny one. I like that, buddy. That was good. A new Die Hard. Yeah, a new Die Hard would be all right, but it is the new Die Hard's coming. But I still want to see a Mel Gibson one. But peeing on a fan though, the golden shower. I mean,
especially in COVID times.
Especially. Here's my question: was he wearing a mask at the time?
Right. That's what we need to find out here.
If he was wearing a mask, it's good, right?
Right.
I mean,
you can pee on people if you're wearing a mask. No, you can't. It's not a good thing anywhere, anytime.
Do you have the sarcasm?
No!
Steve? Do you have that like sarcasm sign you could hold up for?
I do have a sarcasm sign because I use it often, but it's not with me.
Damn it! Because that was it. That was it right there. We love you, Facebook user 6729. He's back. I saw that on Twitter. Ew. Yeah, no mask. Oh, yeah, no mask on either. I mean, either way. I mean, I still don't think it would stop much.
So disgusting.
Speak Moistly. Yeah, that was the Speak Moistly concert. She was singing Rage Against the Machine, Wake Up at the time. Now, if she was at the hardest part, like if she was at the chorus, not even the chorus, the part where she's like, wake up, wake up. She could have shit him. She could have fucking frosted him like a cake at that point.
I figured it would have been I'll pee where I want to. Pee where I want to.
Wow. So that happened.
From one disgusting event to another one took place in Jonestown, South Africa. Cult leader Jim Jones. He started his little family in the United States, but they were breaching all kinds of U.S. laws. It was going to end up like one of these Wacos, I'm sure. So moved him to South Africa. He'll be played by Leonardo DiCaprio, upcoming movie about the horrific Kool-Aid incident in Jonestown, South Africa.
Who's directing it?
I don't know who's directing it.
That sounds like an Oliver Stone or Quentin Tarantino movie.
You
My guess
know
would
what
be-
I forgot to mention when I did the 5-second movie review? It was a horrible movie. I was actually going to give people a great movie to watch, and it's Jesus Christ, I can't remember what that was called now.
Well, while you're googling that, let me just say I watched the new James Bond movie, Die Another Day, I think it's called. Anyways, and this is going to make my review even worse because I couldn't remember the name of it. But I have watched every James Bond movie ever made. I'm a huge James Bond nut. I love them all. Not every James Bond movie, but I do love the mythos. The last couple Daniel Craig movies were a little slow for me. This one I watched was by far the greatest James Bond movie I have ever watched. I literally was in tears multiple times. And I know that it's me, but I mean, I'm usually pretty good with these movies, you know? And I mean, I was like, there was like almost I had a full on cry moment. Like, I was like, oh my God, I couldn't stop. Like, normally when I say I'm crying, it's just tear, like, you know, your eyes are welling up. I mean, I had a full on cry in this movie. It was good. So, yeah, I highly recommend it. If you like James Bond movies and if you like Daniel Craig, go watch the new one if you haven't seen that already. Now, what was the one you were thinking of?
I have to finish the last one, and then I'm definitely going to check that one out.
All right. I hope you cry. What was the movie you were going to review?
One second. I got to find out what it's called.
Oh, well, way to put me on the spot then. So while you're doing that, I guess I could talk a little bit about our next story. So I don't know anyone at home, if you watch the Bill Simmons show. It's a sports show. It's a sports radio show. I don't know why. You know what's funny? You left, and I put you on solo instead of myself because. Go ahead.
The movie was called Richard Jewell. It's currently on Netflix, so it's a true story. Yeah, Clint Eastwood directed it. It's a true story about the bombing at the Olympics in 1996 in Atlanta. Man, great cast. John Hamm. Oh, geez.
A lot of people.
What's her name from?
Oh yeah,
Misery. Kathy Bates.
Kathy Bates.
Kathy Bates is amazing in this movie. It's yeah, check it out. Highly recommend.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good stuff about it, and I hear it makes you like you still don't know if he did it or not after when the movie's over or something like that.
Yeah, I mean,
opinions.
Yeah, it was like I said. Had I been reviewing that movie today, I gave it a 4.5.
Oh wow, nice.
It was really good.
Misery,
great acting all around.
Yeah, Julie Bean says Misery was an amazing movie. Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, Kathy Bates, I love Kathy Bates.
That was Stephen King, right? Yeah. We should do that one week. We should do best Stephen King's movies, maybe. Because there's a lot of.
I don't think we've done that.
No, I don't think we have either. But Misery would be pretty high up there.
Yeah,
at least for me. It might be my number one, honestly, because I'm trying to think of. Well, Shawshank.
And, you know, I was very hesitant about watching Castle Rock because I loved Misery so much, and the second season is a young Kathy Bates, portrayed by a younger actress. I can't remember her name.
Right.
But I really liked it. What's that?
I think she won an Emmy for that role.
Yeah, it was really good. I really enjoyed it.
Nice. Well, that's good. I watched the first season of Castle Rock. I never watched the second season, so I'm not sure why. April is in for the King movies. Oh, Stephen King movies, yeah. No doubt. We are too. All right, so as I was saying before you came back, Tom Hanks was on the Bill Simmons podcast.
Yes.
He's a huge baseball fan. And Bill Simmons, on his own podcast, had ranked the top 3 Tom Hanks movies. And he's like, but you got to take away Forrest Gump. And if you take away Forrest Gump, everybody's list is going to be different, is basically what it was, is the point of his post. So he asked Tom Hanks himself, though, when he had Tom on, he's like, what are your top 3 favorite Tom Hanks films? So he said that he looked at it differently because he looks at it from the effect they had on him as a person, not the actual movie themselves. So he said number one was A League of Their Own. And that's because his family was on set every day. He got to shag flies every day. He just got to play baseball, talk baseball, and just have fun with all his friends and family every day. Number two was Castaway, just because he loved being in the islands and shit like that and filming out there. Makes sense, right?
Yep.
And the last one was Cloud Atlas. Didn't go into too much depth about that, but I was just kind of shocked about that one, honestly. And I shouldn't say shocked about it because I haven't seen it, honestly. So I couldn't say one way or the other. I still have to watch.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan
of Cloud Atlas. No, a lot of people weren't.
Yeah,
I heard it was very slow moving.
Yes, definitely was. Yeah,
but I don't know. Tom Hanks is still the GOAT.
Yeah, like I said, the movie that just came out on Apple there, Finch. Yeah, I honestly could have put that in my top 5 last week. The top 5 Tom Hanks movies. Yeah, I liked it that much.
Yeah, I still have to watch it for sure. Like, yeah. You and I agree on a lot of stuff that we like. Like,
it's one of those movies. It'll make you laugh. It'll make you cry. The guy, I was, and you knew kind of what was, the inevitable end of the movie. It's kind of revealed at the beginning, but it makes it no less harder to watch.
Wow. Well, spoilers.
It's a pretty depressing movie from the start, but it's Tom Hanks, so you know what I mean. You're just engulfed.
Oh, so basically what you're saying is I will be crying from start to finish.
Possibly.
Right on. Well, I also cried at the finish of season 2 of The Mandalorian because seeing Luke Skywalker was beautiful.
Yeah. Did we skip?
No, because I just did my Tom Hanks story, so now it's your Mando story.
Oh, I thought it was James Corden. Sorry.
Oh, no, we didn't skip. I didn't even put it in there. I totally forgot. But you can tell them the story about James Corden. Throw that in. Go ahead.
All right, we'll do that one before we talk about Mando season 3, which really isn't much to talk about, so we'll just say it. Basically, the rumor is that this will be the final season of Mandalorian, and I think we all kind of knew that already. There's really not much more we can get out of this show. I mean, a lot of shows don't survive more than 3 seasons, anyways. On streaming services. So I'm good with this. They say it's going to be replaced by another show, which is obvious. So,
I mean,
I like it. I like ending it before it gets redundant.
And it seemed like Pedro wasn't really into it as much as we were, as everybody else was.
Right.
Like, I don't think he because there were. Rumors from the set that he was having issues, like having to have the hat on all the time.
There was more than a few of those stories. So yeah, but the James Corden story was there's actually been a petition started to try and get James Corden not cast in the upcoming adaptation of Wicked, which is of course
I did have that honestly.
Broadway play. What's that?
I had it. I don't know what happened to it, but go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Wicked is the hit Broadway play about the witches of Eastwick. It's being adapted to a live action movie like many these have with Cats. James Corden was in Cats, so I guess I didn't realize that there was this big hate out there for James Corden.
Well, I don't know. I think. Listen, I haven't been a big fan of his for a while, since after he was on Doctor Who and then slammed Doctor Who.
Like, oh, really?
Talk shit about, the fandom and stuff. And yeah, I've heard a lot of stuff that he's a diva behind stage. He has an ongoing beef with Patrick Stewart. Who has a fucking beef with Captain Picard?
All right.
Like they literally beefed on stage during an award ceremony one year.
I'm not even a Star Trek fan, and I love him.
Yeah, right? That's what I'm saying. So, yeah, I don't know, man. Whatever, James. Sorry, not sorry. I mean, I feel bad for you, but
if that stuff's true, fuck
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying I was a huge fan of him because I've seen his late night show a few times. He definitely does some, funny skits from time to time, but I haven't really watched it loyally enough to really judge him that way. I just was never a fan. I've always been more of a Conan guy or a Craig Ferguson guy. Obviously, I was a huge David Letterman fan. For years I was a loyal Dave guy. So.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Yeah, there's something about Corden. Just I don't know. Just something rubs you wrong about him. Like he almost feels he's better than everyone else. I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't know. It's just a feeling you get sometimes from people. And it seems a lot of people have it, that same feeling.
We're gossiping.
What's that?
Gossiping.
Yes. We're opinionating.
Right.
We're talking is what we're doing. And speaking of talking, we went and saw Clerk. The Kevin Smith story, which was a great story put on by Malcolm. What was Malcolm's last name?
I don't.
I forget. But Malcolm was the producer, good friend of Kevin Smith. Surprised to know he's from Brampton, Ontario.
Oh, Brampton, yes.
Yeah. So good old Canadian boy. And they showed us this movie, and I'm telling you, we had a long drive up there because we came in from basically a 2-hour drive from where we were at. And then the documentary was a solid 2 hours. And it was good. I mean, and
it honestly didn't feel like 2 hours. It was that good.
Yeah. Because I got choked up a couple times watching that. I'm not going to lie.
If you're a Kevin Smith fan, as we both are, it was a really good, really well done documentary.
Yeah. And then came the Q&A. And while there was some Q, but there was way more A than there was Q.
As to be expected.
Exactly. And what did we get out of there? That 2 hour, they quoted it being it was supposed to be a 2 hour Q&A, and I think it went almost 2.5. It was long. It was nice. We were up front row, so great seats to see him, and told some great stories. But I listened to like 2 of his podcasts already, so the majority of questions that were being asked and the stories he was telling are stories I've heard. I felt like Steve being on the show, sitting next to me and having to hear me say the same fucking stories over and over again for years. Like, that's how I felt listening to them say these stories. I'm like, I just want to hear something different, please. But it was good. The movie was great. Like Steve said, it went by in no time. You didn't notice 2 hours. And and it was great to have front row seats that close to Kevin. I just wish we could have got him to see your shirt.
Yeah. As you said, front row. I've only been to that place twice before, and I've never not been front row. I've been front. I mean, I was front row center the other 2 times. I mean, we were a little off to the side, but it was still a great seat. There's really not a bad seat in that place. It's so small and intimate, right? So,
yeah, Queen Elizabeth Theatre, downtown Toronto, great venue, and you didn't have to worry about crowds being too crowded or anything like that.
Yeah, I think it's only like not even 1,000 people.
Yeah. So you didn't have to worry about fucking people rushing the stage and getting trampled.
This is true.
Like
as we make the segue into this,
the worst segue ever.
This depressing story. It just keeps getting worse. If you've obviously probably heard this story already. Astroworld festival put on every year by Travis Scott. Many rushed the stage. It was reported that he was encouraging people, rushing the floor. I don't know if any of this is true. This is just what I'm reading from reputable news sources. 9 dead. We have another victim, a 9-year-old victim, is currently on medically induced life support. All the victims are aged between 14 and 27.
Ridiculous.
So there's firsthand accounts that I've seen. I watched a lot of videos, firsthand accounts of people that were at the show and said multiple people were trying to get security to stop the show. And one person said that the reason she was given for the show not coming to a hold was because it was being live streamed.
Who cares? That's even a bigger. I'm not saying that's. I mean, if you're worried about public perception, though.
Right.
Oh my God.
I mean, we're talking dozens injured, 9 dead. And now I've been to a lot of shows, not oversold, but I mean, I've been to SARS. I've been to some big shows. Like we're talking about 50, 80, 100,000 people, general admission. And I've felt that crush of the crowd. When a crowd starts to go that way, you're going with it. If your arms are up, your arms are up. If your arms are down, your arms are down. It really is fight or flight, and I've been in those situations. I've seen friends go down, and I've seen friends get piled, like literally piled, like people trample, like an avalanche of people fall, and you just literally start to grab bodies and help people up. And it's, we've seen countless accounts of artists stopping shows saying, "Hey, help that guy up," or "Hey, knock that off, get that guy out of here." I've been to Pantera. I've been to these shows where we're literally throwing fists at each other in the mosh pit, and that's cool. But the second a guy goes down, you help him up, and obviously the being oversold was a big part of this. It just what a black eye for concerts, being one of the last things to really start back up again, and they've had a hard couple of years, so this is really going to change the game, I think, for general admission shows.
Oh, for sure. There'll be no more general admission up front, that's for sure, for most of these big shows. It's crazy, though. It's crazy to think about, but I mean,
this isn't the first time we've seen this.
It was avoidable, I should say.
This isn't the first time we've seen this, but this is the first time we've seen this on this scale, I think, in these conditions. There's been a few times overseas. I remember one Pearl Jam show, I think in Copenhagen. There's a few people that trampled to death. It's happened. We're talking tens of hundreds of thousands of people at some of these festivals in Europe, and that's a big crowd when people are fighting to get to the front but just fighting to stay alive. If you're dehydrated, you're in the sun. It really does get touch and go sometimes. I've seen people faint. I've seen people crowd surf and just all of a sudden there's no one there to catch you and falling flat on your back and having to be carried out on stretchers. I've gotten boots in the face from people. Like it's dangerous. It is very dangerous. I love it. It's a rush for me. It's something I really enjoyed doing in my 20s.
It's like running with the
my
bull.
30s, and I think the last time I came out of retirement was for body count.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's pretty insane to me, honestly, just to think about it.
It really is. I've witnessed some crazy shit, man.
Well, from that crazy shit to crazy shit for us Marvel fans. It's our last story of the day, but this was going to take us a while anyways. Lots to go through. It was Disney Day yesterday, Disney Plus Day, if you will. Bunch of new shows announced.
That's my Mickey ears, because someone I know went to Walt Disney World and didn't bring me back Mickey ears.
Who went to Disney World?
Little person we like to call Facebook user.
Facebook, she's the worst.
Right.
I've
never been.
No,
I wanted to look at Mickey ears.
I went with my mother when I was 9, and we went on the teacups, and it took us a half an hour to get on there, and then we went to get on It's a Small World After All, and I think it was a 2-hour lineup. We went on it, and then my mom's like, "Fuck this, we're going to SeaWorld." Dude, we drove from Ontario to Florida just to go to Disney, just for my mom to be like, "Fuck this shit, we're out." We went to Epcot Center. Don't get me wrong, we spent the whole day at Epcot Center. But when it was Disney Day, which is a separate entity, who was going to argue with my mom, especially back then?
Yeah, that's I told Austin, he was too young to remember his trip to Disney. So now that they have Star Wars Land there, we plan on making the trip. Definitely, obviously with COVID being put off, maybe another year or two. But I
Go
definitely
check
plan on
out
making
Galaxy's
the trip.
Edge. Right on. Well, Disney Plus Day came out. They announced a whole bunch of new shows, movies, but basically a whole bunch of Marvel stuff and a little bit of Star Wars. Starting things off, though, I mean, wow, we got 3 trailers for MCU shows. We got to see our first look at She-Hulk starring Tatiana Maslany. It showed her. It showed the Incredible Hulk, Mark Ruffalo as well in it. We see in the middle there, that is Kamala Khan. I'm not sure the actress's name. I forget it offhand. But she's playing Kamala Khan, who is Ms. Marvel. We got to see her in her costume. And then, of course, Oscar Isaac over on the left, and he is playing the very broken Mark Spector, otherwise known as Moon Knight, the man with multiple personality disorders. They showed teaser trailers for all 3 of those, and I was just like, oh my God, there's so much coming here. Not just me, but we're looking on here though. Spider-Man, the freshman years, that's going to be an animated series. We've got X-Men 97, She-Hulk, Marvel Zombies, another animated series, Agatha, House of Harkness, right out of WandaVision, Obi-Wan Kenobi. They showed us a scene from Obi-Wan Kenobi, and this is concept art of Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader fighting again. So it turns out that match that we see in A New Hope is at the very minimum their 3rd battle.
Yeah.
This could be one of many battles they've had throughout the years, right?
So the last one was the rubber match, possibly.
Yeah, exactly. So could play out that way. Some other things of interest on here: Predator, Prey. So this is going to be set in, I believe, like the 1800s, 1500s. It's going to be before North America settled. And It's going to be the Predators landing in indigenous area and taking on some indigenous tribes. So can I just put this out there? I put up a post on TikTok asking who would survive in a jungle battle between, what's his name, Braddock from Predator?
Yeah.
John Matrix from Commando, John Rambo from Rambo, and Braddock from Missing in Action. And people kept saying that it would be Arnold Schwarzenegger from Predator because he beat an alien. And I'm like, that alien lost to Danny fucking Glover. It loses to kids. Like, it loses a lot. It's not as tough as everybody thinks it is. It just has better tech than everybody else. But it gets schooled a lot. Like, a lot.
This is so my son, he always rants, he's like I like Mandalorian, he likes the show. He's like, but what the fuck? He's like he gets his ass kicked every week. He's like, he got his ass beat by Jawas. Like, there's supposed to be this ultimate fucking
he's not
warrior.
No, he's not though. Boba is, right? He's almost the accidental warrior. He's like the Inspector Gadget of Mandalorians. Marvel Zombies, that sounds interesting. Yeah, that looks really good too. And it's gonna be written by a lot of the writers from the Marvel Zombies comic books, which is great. So there's a lot that's gonna be coming out there. Like I said, the X-Men thing, I'm so down for that because that was like one of my favorite cartoons back in the day. And we're getting Secret Invasion. That's another one that we didn't get to mention on there. We got our first look at Nick Fury from Secret Invasion. Have you seen Captain Marvel?
I haven't.
No? So it's set back in the 90s, right?
Yeah, I did know that much, yeah.
So the end credit scene, spoilers for it, anyone who hasn't seen it, but if you're watching this, you've probably seen it. In the end credit scene, though, we find. Oh, sorry, not in the end credit scene of Captain Marvel. In the end credit scene of Spider-Man: Far From Home, we find out that Nick Fury and Maria Hill, who are on Earth, are actually two Skrulls that we meet in Captain Marvel, the original one. And Nick Fury's been up on a Skrull spaceship for we don't know how long. So he could have been there since the 90s with Captain Marvel when he met the Skrulls, or he could have just been there just recently after he got shot in Captain. All I know is Secret Invasion is going to be so good because everybody could have been a Skrull. Everybody could have been a Skrull since the 90s. That means Thor could be a Skrull, Hawkeye, Captain America. Iron Man might not be dead, yo. I'm just saying, if Robert Downey Jr. wanted to come back, this is his way back in. I know he doesn't want anything to do with it, but I'm saying if he wanted to come back, he could be like, oh, I was trapped on a Skrull ship for all these years while they used me as a mole. Sorry. I get excited. I don't know if you noticed that or not.
A little bit.
A little bit. Oh, and there's a picture. Because he was wicked. Yeah. But yeah. You got anything else you want to talk about?
No, like I said, we got to do the Kevin Smith thing. We've been to a convention the last month, so life's getting back to normal slowly, right? So
yeah, well, normal's normal can be. I mean, my Sabres are winning a lot. Beat the Red Wings.
Yeah, my Red Wings aren't playing too bad. Aren't playing too bad. They're playing better than I can speak.
Except
and my Bengals still have a winning record. The Ravens lost on Thursday night to Miami, so that division just got really tight. So, and it's my favorite week in football, bye week, because the Bengals can't possibly lose.
Yeah, we always have ours really early in the season as a Vikings fan, and oh my god, it was rough. But what are you gonna do about Pittsburgh? Like Pittsburgh's gonna squeak into the playoffs. And you never know what's going to happen with Big Ben.
No, the AFC North is always a fucking toss-up.
Yeah, I agree. All I know is that the NFC North has always been Green Bay, basically, since Brett Favre.
So, yeah, I'll have football on in the background tomorrow, but with no Bengals playing, I have no reason to watch other than for my fantasy players. So we'll be making a big pot of potato bacon soup tomorrow.
Ooh, sounds fun. Awesome. We're right on, man. I will be watching my Vikings play tomorrow, and I'll be watching the Steelers lose to the Lions, and yeah, it'll be good times. I'll be watching Vegas Raiders lose. No, I'm just kidding. I like both teams.
Well, I made a big trade this week. I actually traded Matthew Stafford for Eckler.
Didn't Stafford just get old?
Yeah, I needed another running back. Actually, my projection, I was projected to finish 6th before the trade, which is our last playoff spot. So I would have just projected shit.
Who's your other quarterback?
I have Burrow and Carr.
Okay.
I had Burrow already. I picked up Carr off waivers after Stafford. So yeah, I think I'm all right. All right. Okay. I went from 6th to projected 3rd.
Nice.
So, and I'm currently in first place still. So
nice, right on.
Wow. I'm holding on.
Derrick Henry, man, that hurt us all.
Losing Henry hurt.
Yeah. Just as long as you get into the playoffs, that's all that matters. You never know.
Yeah.
Any given Sunday, as I say. But
so yeah, enjoy your weekend, everybody.
Yeah, man. Hope everybody had a good weekend, and be safe. If you drink, don't drive, as usual. And
if you smoke, don't fly.
Stay high. Pigs can't fly. It's an old Welland saying. Anyways. Oh, yeah. We will see you all next time. Cheers to you, Ronnie. Cheers to you, Kurt. Cheers to Julie, Bean Rules, and everybody else who tuned in today. Much love to you all. Puff, puff, pass, as Ron Corbo says.
That's right.
For the Wild Wingnut, for Docnet, I'm your boy Zeus. Peace.